Coming too close, she walked away. Caught by someone else's gaze. He missed his chance to speak his mind, and now he glares with jealous eyes. And it's easy to blame destiny for the things we believe are meant to be. How was he supposed to know that he'd found true love? And it's easy to blame destiny for the things we believe are meant to be. How are we supposed to know?
Hi, this is Steph, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting from New Haven, Connecticut.
Welcome back to the WNHH Great Give Radiothon of 2019. We're in a 36-hour celebration of the great nonprofit organizations in our community help us stay whole and strong. For these 36 hours, we're asking everyone to dig deep to support some of the great nonprofit groups in New Haven. 406 of them have signed up on the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven platform. So here's what you do. You go to The Great Give. Don't forget thegreatgive.org. And you'll find there all the groups you want to give money to. And you can do it right then. We're going to hear in this half hour from one of my favorites in town, New Haven Reads on Ashman Street and other locations now, which is started out, I believe, about 20 years ago with
Yeah,
Ms.
around 18
Alexander.
years ago. Yeah.
Yep.
And where it started out where we would all bring all our old hardcover books to Ashman Street and then have a place where you can get books for free. And it turned into probably the most important tutoring organization in town, where people, including people who work for the Independent, go and volunteer every week with a school kid to learn. And Christine Alexander started that years ago, the Lee Christine, and it's just taken off. So say good morning to Jessica Marcolone and Carrie Humphreys from New Haven Reads. Thanks for coming in, everyone.
Thank you so much for having us.
So we're going to talk about a few things this hour. We're going to ask people, tell people why it's great to give to New Haven Reads. We're going to talk about the work you do, talk about the challenges in our community. But first, I want to ask you what song or poem you brought for us today.
Okay, well, luckily we just celebrated Poetry Month with our students, so each week we had them write a different kind of poem.
I'm going to ask you, just get so close to the mic, you're almost touching it.
Okay. So our first poem is by a young girl. She's 7 years old. Her name is Chloe, and it says, New Haven reads, fun, readful, learning, reading, playing, fun to learn and read, and fun to be nice, happy.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's nice. You got another one there?
This one is a haiku from Elvin. This haiku is titled Don't Pollute Oceans. The ocean has trash. Animals are in danger. Let's fix the ocean.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, our kids are the sweetest.
And it is. It became, originally when I remember New Haven was started, it wasn't just a kids organization.
Yeah.
It's really, and it isn't, but I mean, it used to be about just like getting books out, right? Wasn't that the
Mhm.
original vision?
That
Yep.
was the main focus for us. And thank you. That was the main focus for us when we first started, was just to share books with everyone. And we still do that to this day. People can visit us on Bristol Street. We're open to the public Monday through Saturday, and you can come and get books. But as we had people visiting the book bank and getting books, we started to see students who were struggling with reading and with their homework. So we started to tutor from there.
And that became a big thing. There's so many adults who want to do something in the community that they feel makes a difference right away. So many say New Haven Reads, the word got around.
It really
And,
did.
and you opened other centers. You're in East Rock, correct?
Correct.
And where else?
We have another location in Science Park. 45 Bristol Street is the original location, and then right across the street, we have a location over on Dixwell.
So every afternoon, kids come after school and get tutored, right?
Correct.
And not just books. Don't you do some digital stuff?
So one of our components of our tutoring hour is a technology-based component. So it's an online phonics program for students. So they're still getting, familiar with computers and typing, in addition to building those reading skills.
Is there still a debate about phonics versus whole word learning?
There is still a debate about
Because
that.
I have two kids. They're grown now. And I just watched how, when they were growing up, one of them was just figuring out words by seeing them in the context of a bunch of words and what they
Mhm.
look like. And the other one was methodically sounding out each syllable through phonics. I mean, kids
Yeah.
just learn differently.
Yeah,
So it's really not
absolutely.
either or, right?
It's both. We find a lot of our students benefit from phonics instruction. It is most effective with students whose English is their second language.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Because of how odd English is.
Exactly. So
English is
odd,
just-
complicated.
It does not sound like the way it looks.
No.
Just think of
Exactly.
could. I used to just like, even though I knew could and should and would, I used to just look at that word sometimes, especially if I was
Makes
tired
no
in school.
sense.
I was thinking, well, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Who decided-
Yeah. Where did we mess up? Where did we mess up along the way?
So that's why we use a lot of phonics spaces with our work.
So how long, Jessica, how long you been with the organization?
I started with New Haven Reads back in February of 2017.
And what do you do there?
I'm the assistant site director over at Willow Street, and I also began a development assistant position in August of 2017.
Meaning you raise money.
Yeah, so I do a little bit of everything. I
Including
absolutely
here.
love it. Yeah. Yep.
And how about you, Carrie? What do you do?
So I am the outreach director. I've been with New Haven Reads for 7 years now, and I get to meet with all the wonderful people who want to volunteer.
And how many people do volunteer?
We have over 450 volunteers right now.
Whoa.
Yes,
Incredible.
tremendous number.
Wow, with how many kids?
Over 550 kids a week.
Well, some people do more than one kid.
They do,
Mhm.
yes.
Wow.
And-
I know when I talk to people volunteering, again, a bunch who worked here have done it, as well as my friends outside work. They feel a real bond with the kids.
They really
They
do.
feel that
Absolutely.
like teaching becomes in and of itself such a valuable thing
Mhm.
to teach, so that the work in itself matters because of the work. They also feel like that's a way for a kid to have intention and an adult to bond with that kid, and they care about what happens in their life.
Absolutely. We have a lot of tutors that do say to us it is the best hour of their week. They've been working with students for years on end. They build these relationships, and students feel as if they have another parent or guardian in their life, and tutors feel as if they have another child or just somebody that they can really look after and care about. And this undeniable bond begins, and it's just so amazing to see.
Now, what do you do in the summer? Anything expanded?
We do some expanded work in the summer. So summer is really important for us. We have a 6-week summer session. We continue our one-on-one literacy tutoring program, which is so vital for students. But in addition to the reading support that they're getting, we offer what we call academic clubs. So these are summer enrichment opportunities in math. Our students love chess, so we play chess during the summer.
Mhm.
We have science clubs, arts and crafts.
And how many hours? Oh, so it's different activities you go to once a week or something.
Yes, kids can come up to 2 clubs a week and then have an hour of literacy tutoring.
And how long the clubs for? About an hour.
About an hour.
And how many kids get involved with that
300 to 350
in the
kids
summer?
every
It's
week.
such a great. I know, like when I was my kids were little, you'd
Mhm.
have something special for them to do on a day. That's
Yeah.
kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to break up. In the summer it's very important that that kids get their reading practice in the summer, but we're trying to break it up and make things a little fun as well. And it's nice. A lot of our clubs are group activities, so our kids get to communicate with other kids and play with other kids and learn how to socialize and
And I know I hear from parents how important it is that
Yeah.
you guys are there for them. They feel it's so busy. I hear from teachers about summer. They feel like
Mhm.
they've observed that kids can fall back by a series of months where they
Absolutely.
were when they ended this academic year with their reading. I guess math even more. I'm not sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So math and literacy are the biggest, absolutely. So there have been countless studies that have been done on this. It's called the summer slide, and kids tend to fall back on average 2 to 3 months. They start the school year 2 to 3 months behind their peers if reading is not practiced during the summer. So they say to practice reading for at least 20 minutes a day. This will help the kids.
And is that when we say reading, are we okay with
Mhm.
screen reading, or is that just a different kind of phenomenon?
Um,
So I don't know why I feel so much more human
with a book in your hand.
in a book in my hand.
I am
feel
with
just,
you.
We love that.
I'm in
aspect.
connection with my soul. I'm traveling.
Yes,
Mhm.
I am 100% with you. I do not like the Kindles or the screen reading.
I won't ever get one.
Yeah, I had one. I needed to get one, and then I
I'm not saying
I gave
that
it
bad.
away.
I'm just saying for me, it's a part of the
It's a
read. It's a
yeah, it's a
soulful
personal
experience to read in a
preference.
book.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
tactile experience.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's very important for kids to just read and discuss books with their parents. Have parents read to them, ask them questions about stories, characters. Just for a few minutes a day. This will help the kids. We're trying to close that achievement gap. On average, it's said that students can lose between 20 and 35% of what they have learned the previous year going into the next school year. So we're trying to close that achievement gap. We're trying to help our kids start the next school year on this even playing field, and we really, really want to help our students who are already working below grade level. We want to help them maintain.
And I remember when you did make the
those-
transition to some screens.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it was about
Mhm.
5 years ago. You had a press conference at Bristol Street that I went to with the mayor,
Mhm.
and you said we still got the books, and with
Mhm.
books are number one. We're also training kids to be computer literate. Tell me about
Mhm.
that and what you do.
So that aspect comes into play in 2 forms. One, that computer phonics program that I mentioned a little bit ago. So students
that's
are
interesting.
they're reading out loud, they're practicing those reading skills that they need to build, but they're also interacting with the computer. They're typing sentences. They're learning, for especially small kids, how to control a mouse and build that dexterity. But we have had in the past in the summer coding clubs where kids are coding and building websites. We participate every year in the Hour of Code, which is a national program for kids to interact with coding. So we're just introducing students to the many aspects
And
of
that's
the world.
interesting about the almost like competing goals here, because the tech execs who design the iPhones and know that they want to addict us to something that's not good for us,
Mhm.
they send their kids to schools in Silicon Valley where they're not doing any web stuff, any computer stuff until middle or high school. But if you come from a disadvantaged family,
Mhm.
your kid is not going to have as many opportunities. If the kid isn't computer literate, isn't going to New Haven Reads and learning how to control the mouse and type it, you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So like, we don't want people to be addicted to the screens. We want them to be able to read books, but at the same time, especially especially in lower income city, you want people to have the same coding and web literacy
Yeah, you want them to
that
have
other
the
people
same
have, so they can
opportunities,
compete
yeah.
in society. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that computer technology aspect of our hour is only a portion of that hour that the kids spend with us. So they're spending about 15 to 20 minutes there. They're spending another 15 minutes in their workbook. So they're getting to practice writing and kind of taking what they had just, worked on the computer program into something more tactile. And then, of course, the best part of the hour, we read out loud with them.
What's your favorite book?
Oh, good question.
Oh, I feel like that's the toughest question to ask a reader.
No, I tell you what, a favorite book.
A favorite book.
One of my favorites, and I was just talking to my friend about this one because she hasn't read it. I adore Pride and Prejudice.
Mhm.
One of my
Your
favorites.
Jane Austen. How about you?
One of my all-time favorite books is Siddhartha by Herman Hesse.
Mm-hmm.
Read it in high school and it changed my life.
And how come?
I read it at the perfect time. I feel like it's a book you
That
either
is a time when people
love or
read
hate.
college and high school. It's a
Yeah.
whole spiritual search. Yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school, and I read that book for an AP literacy or literature class in high school, and it just
What did
changed
make
my
you
view.
decide you wanted to do?
Well, I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I ended up taking 6 months. I traveled the country in an RV with my sister.
There you go. So
And
you're a
then-
seeker.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I went to community college, tried to figure out some things. I ended up studying psychology. I got my bachelor's in forensic psychology, minor in criminal justice. And then I started working here. Now I'm getting my master's in developmental psychology, and I want to just continue working with kids for as long as I can.
Let's start with a book.
It started with a book. It did.
Katrina Medina Knight. Thanks for listening, Katrina. Says, excellent program. He even reads. That's a good endorsement.
thank you.
That's Katrina Medina Knight really knows what she's talking about.
Oh, she does.
Does she work there?
I'm not familiar with that person.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you did. Okay. And what we're talking about is New Haven Reads, one of the 406 nonprofits in New Haven
Incredible.
participating in the Great Give. 36 hours today and tomorrow, where we're asking people to donate collectively. Go to the website of the Great Give from the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. Here's the website. Ready? thegreatgive.org. Don't forget thegreatgive.org. And you'll see there, you can find out about any of these groups and give to as many as you want. We're trying as a community to top last year's record of $1.75 million in donations. So time to pony up. And each group is coming to read a poem or sing a song and tell us every half hour why we might want to give for this hour. So how did you get involved, Carrie, 7 years ago? What brought you here?
So I was a volunteer first. That was my first introduction.
Did you grow up around here?
No, I did not. I'm from Arkansas originally and moved out here for grad school. So after grad school,
What did you come to study?
community psychology. So I have a master's degree in community
Where did you
psychology.
study that?
University of New Haven, and really wanted to help nonprofits build programs and grow programs. So I was looking for a place to volunteer my time. I'm a big reader myself, so that's what the natural draw to New Haven Reads was. And then before I knew it, I was working.
7
Yep.
years.
7 years.
It's
Wow.
incredible.
Okay. Can you tell me about a day you'll never forget at New Haven Reads and say this is why I do it?
Oh boy, there are so many days at New Haven Reads. One that really comes to mind is we recently took in three siblings. They come from Afghanistan, I believe. They speak Pashto at home, which I had never heard of before. And these three siblings come in. They wanted to check out the program, and they were very nervous. One of the siblings, a young little boy, I believe is in 4th grade. He did not want to be a part of New Haven Reads. He didn't need help with his reading, didn't need help with his English. He just wanted to go to school, and that was it. And he comes in and checks everything out. He sees the books, and he's like, wow, this place is amazing. He's like, I never want to leave. And it just so happened that the tutor that we had found for him was there that day. So we introduced him to his tutor, John, and Jamil is his name. He met John and was like, this place is amazing. He said, this is so great. And now these kids come in every Tuesday, and they don't want to leave. They hang out, they grab their books, they work with their tutors, they do their reading. It's just admirable. I love seeing it, but it just warms your heart.
Carrie, 7 years, that's a long time. So you don't tell me the day you'll never forget. Tell me a day you'll never
A
forget.
day I'll never forget. Well, when we opened our 4th site, that was a big day for us. That was 3 years ago.
And was
now?
this
3
the
years
site
ago,
at
yes.
Science Park?
This is the site at Willow Street in the East Rock
Okay,
neighborhood
I
of
remember
New
that
Haven,
day,
where
yep.
Jess is. And that was like a big culmination for us because we, at the time, I think we were working with around 375, 400 kids a week. And our wait list, which is still large today, was huge at that time. And we
You have
knew
a big wait list.
we have a wait list of
Mhm.
about 100 students who are in need of literacy support. So
And is
they
that
need
because you
tutors.
don't have enough tutors or enough space?
A large part of it is we need more tutors. We always need more tutors, but we are about 80% capacity at all 4 locations now. So 3 years ago, opening another location to build and fill. We still have some room over at Willow Street, so we need some tutors over for Willow Street location.
Always
But-
need tutors.
Are you in that 85 Willow complex, the
We
old
are.
factory, Marlin
Yes,
Arms?
Marlin
Yeah.
Works, right across from East Rock School.
Yeah. So on the one hand, you're across from schools. That makes it easy. A lot of kids come from
Absolutely.
that school. That's a good school.
A mix, yeah.
Yeah. There's a good handful that come from that school. When we first opened Willow Street, we had an agreement with the school where we would walk over a few kids. The principal would walk over some kids, and we would do homework with them at 2:00, and then they would stay for their 3:00 tutoring hour. But it just became
Nice.
to be a little bit dangerous crossing that street. It's a little bit scary, but we do have a few kids. Their
Scary
parents,
because of people drive fast
Yeah,
on the way to
yeah,
the highway.
Yeah, exactly.
I-91. Yeah.
yeah, but we do have a few parents that pick up their kids after school, and little after 2:00, quarter after they come over, we do their
You know,
homework.
that's a
and-
narrow street, but I guess it's
Mhm.
because the highway's at the end there.
I think
Yeah.
that's part of it. Yeah.
And that's the other thing I was going to ask is like when you find a location, so you have this amazing place in Bristol, which is a storefront right on the
Mhm.
street. You walk right in. Barnland R is kind of set back, right? They're in a factory complex, got to find
Yeah.
your way around.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a maze. We do
Yeah.
always, when we have new tutors start, they call us like, "Where do I go? Where do I go?" But we're more than happy to walk out, walk in, and show you around.
Okay. I want to thank you both for telling us all about the great and for the great work you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so
One
much.
of the reasons I love to live in New Haven is because we have
Mhm.
stuff like New Haven Reads.
Thank you.
And I
That means a
loved
lot.
Christine Alexander is just a wonderful, wonderful woman, the late Christine. And I feel like every time we donate money to you guys, I feel like we're doing it in the memory of someone who made such a difference and you're carrying it forward.
Absolutely. Thank,
Thank you.
All right, so folks, so you got the marching order. New Haven Reads, not hard to remember. You go to thegreatgive.org, thegreatgive.org. You'll find the 406 nonprofits in New Haven raising money today and tomorrow collectively so that we as a community can pony up $1.75 million or more to keep us strong. And we just got to hear from Jessica Markelon and Carrie Humphreys about the great work of New Haven Reads. Any final words?
Thank everyone for supporting us last year and help us reach our goal of $10,000 this year.
Okay, that seems like a fair goal, a good goal.
think so.
You're going to make it. I have no doubt you're going to make it.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, by the way, Ashman Street. So last night, there was a 9-year-old boy was shot a couple blocks from where you are in a car. Are you familiar with that? Or
I have not heard anything about that.
Missed that
it was
news,
after
but-
dark.
Oh,
but
no.
so, yeah,
Oh
okay.
my goodness.
Okay, so that's luckily it wasn't by New Haven Reads. Okay. Okay, everybody, sit tight. Sorry about that. The Great Give 2019. We're at the Great Give Radiothon at WNHH FM. Your home for community. We're going to be back at 10:30 with Helen Cowder of Art Space. In the meantime, the Afro-Semitic Experience is playing Sente. He's an on-time God.